Start with what happened today. So, Mheshimiwa, we've seen quite a few exchanges today. First starting off with the former deputy president, and then the response by those allied to government, yourself included. When you take a look at today's exchanges, which you were a part of at the press conference, did you find that healthy for the country?
You see, the season has begun. This is 10th of August, and the election is next year, 10th. So we're in that season now, 10 months to the election. And you know, the former impeached deputy president had a long period of time, the last 2 years, talking and propagating a lot of lies and saying, without anyone responding to him. Now, we were not responding to him that time because it was not yet, politics time, not yet campaign time. But now, he will be responded to each and everything that he says going forward. And all his lies will be demystified.
But why does it descend so quickly to personalities and sometimes barely decent language? And not just today, but I mean, in the weeks past, there have been many exchanges back and forth between both sides of the aisle. Why is it that way?
You know, it is the level of the opposition politics have gone down in this country. It's never been like this. We have been there. We've been running the opposition politics for the longest ourselves. And any time we wanted to critique or say something, we used to table evidence and say, this is how it is and this is the evidence. Nowadays, you can say anything. You know, the deputy president can claim Yvonne is dead when you are reading the news here. And nobody will ask him, can you tell us, can you substantiate? So the whole of today, his statement was about personalities and attacking people. People are alive, people are dead, all of them. You know, he left no one. So we can't allow that to continue. That it demands leadership of us to tell Kenyans that this man is not saying the truth.
So there were also quite a few unsubstantiated claims that were made at your press conference, for instance.
Like which one?
There were claims about what he has done, how much money apparently he collected from coffee farmers. Do you have evidence of this?
No, there are enough evidence. All that is true. So, the people he demanded those monies from and he wanted to extort are all there. Though, you know,
so how do we, as members of the public, know that? Because you're saying that, he says one thing on the other end, you say something, the public is left in the middle without verification of your claims. When you told me that he demanded this much of money from this company, the company exists, the owners are there, so, you know, we didn't talk about dead people like him. We talked about people who are alive, coffee companies in Mount Kenya area. And you know, the character of the person also justifies that he's a person who could do that. So that's your evidence, that he's a person who could do that?
There is a lot of evidence.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of evidence.
So, you know, this is an accountability space. So for when Kenyans who are interested in accountability, perhaps in knowing what's been happening over the last 4 years and how it has been, where can they find genuine information on the assessment of government? Can they get that between, in the exchanges we've seen between you and Gachagua? You say one thing, the evidence is there, the companies exist. He likewise says the same thing, he knows, he has heard. So where do Kenyans get proper, genuine, validated information on the assessment of the government today?
First, you see today, he claimed to have been speaking about what this administration has done for the last 4 years. And he did not tell Kenyans that he was part of this administration at the beginning for 2 years. So I don't know whether his assessment included his when he was the deputy president. Because he talked about 4 years. And in the last 4 years, there are certain time, in fact, a long period of time until he was impeached, where he was running the government as the deputy president. So again, he has consistently, lied and consistently told people and told Kenyans things which he cannot substantiate. And we cannot let that go. We cannot allow that kind of politics to continue taking root in our country. Because even opposition is protected by the Constitution. When you are doing opposition work, you should do it in accordance with the Constitution. You can't just sit here and say that, this community, that community, the security system is being held by that community. No.
Okay. Specifically, my question was, where do Kenyans get genuine information? let's put Mr. Gachagua aside.
Kenyans.
Let's put your claims aside.
Yeah.
What are Kenyans to make? Because this is 4 years, it's a year to the election. Kenyans are yearning for information. Where do they get it in between the exchanges that are being made on both sides?
Are they interested in information you're saying from the government or from Gachagua? Which information are Kenyans looking for? Because information from Mr. Gachagua are all lies. But if you want to know information from the government periodically, avails data to the people. If you want to know what's happening in the economy, there's the economic survey that is done by the Ministry of Finance, for example, every year, and they publish it. So all the relevant information are available to Kenyans. What is not available to Kenyans, which are not substantiated, are the lies, propaganda, innuendos, and rumors that are being propagated by Mr. Gachagua. That's the one that has no basis.
4 years down the line, you and Mr. Gachagua were in different places. You've switched places. You are happy to say today what he was saying 4 years ago, and he's saying today what you were saying 4 years ago. It's a small world, isn't it?
No, I don't think so. We have never said anything similar to what Gachagua has said when he was in government and when he's out of government. We cannot say those kind of things.
Okay.
And we will never say it.
All right. This was not you at a rally in 2022 saying about the president that hakuna kuchoma watu wa kanisa?
No, but that is a campaign. It is true that certain times in our country people died in a church or such things. That is, I was campaigning for my candidate, but I have never said what Gachagua is saying.
So likewise,
Gachagua now is saying things that can divide this country.
And that
can balkanize this country.
And what you said then would not balkanize this country?
An entity in form of a party, which is an outfit of a region and a tribe and something. We can't do that. I'm running ODM, a national party.
All right. And at the time, you were also a leader of ODM party.
Yes.
So those statements then were fine, but Gachagua's today are not?
Those are campaign statements.
Okay. But you've just said we're in the campaign period.
Yeah, but...
So wouldn't somebody then say that Gachagua's statements are campaign statements? I'm just trying to understand the difference between
I am also making you understand there is nothing that we have said now or before that are similar to what Gachagua said.
So you stand by that statement in 2022?
Let me tell you something. If there are institutions that are still functioning in this country...
Let me read that for you. You said, tutamfunga jela hapa tu committee. Do you still stand by that statement? That was on the 30th of July, 2022. You yourself posted that video on Twitter.
If I had won the election, is when you could have asked me that question. I did not win the election to exercise executive authority. If Kenyans gave us mandate at that time, then you could ask me now, you said this, why are you not implementing? Kenyans refused to elect us.
Okay. Yeah. I'd like us to just focus on, you say there's many lies and unsubstantiated claims, and there's been many allegations. Why not present this information that you have to the authorities and, have them investigate and, the law take its course?
Let me tell you something. What we have said today is what everyone knows about Gachagua. It doesn't need any evidence or any substantiation. But what he has said, and what he has been saying for the last 1 year, for example, if there are institutions that are still functioning in this country, that uphold and defend the Constitution, do you know one time when I was in the opposition, I said something mundane, very small thing, and I spent 6 days, in Pangani police station in the cells. This is a man who has even claimed that the president should be killed like a snake. He has claimed that the other day there's some political party that wanted to go to, for example, Al-Kalau, this Linda something. He told them, you cannot go to Al-Kalau. You can only do other politics other places. This is the guy who has said that this country will ban in 2027 if the election does not go his way. He's on record, all that. We even discussed it in Parliament. This is a man, I cannot even enumerate.
So do you think then the authorities have failed?
Terribly. If I was today...
And NCIC asked, that anyone who has a complaint, particularly on matters of hate speech, that they need a complainant. Would you be willing today to make that formal complaint to NCIC?
A complainant, because what he has said is open in the public space. The NCIC is an independent commission. They don't need anyone to move them. The NCIC has failed in their mandate as of today in this country because they cannot allow somebody of Gashagua's type to continue doing what he's doing in this country.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about institutions. You've mentioned the NCIC. I'd like to speak about Parliament and what's happening there. You are the minority leader. What exactly is the minority checking anymore?
You people are still stuck in the old constitution. In the old constitution is when we used to have in Parliament the opposition side and the government side. Now in the new constitution, we have minority side and the majority side. That the minority does not necessarily mean it's the opposition. That is why the constitution says, under Article 95, Parliament should do oversight, representation, and legislation. And when it says oversight, it means both sides, both the majority and the minority should oversight the executive. It's not the responsibility of the minority to oversight the executive. It is the whole of Parliament. The Constitution never said the minority is the opposition and they should oversight the government. So please, let's move to the new Constitution of 2010 together.
Let's talk about then that role of oversight and accountability. How would you rate the value of that in the current Parliament?
You see, any government in this world will want to have its way in Parliament, in judiciary, in every institution. So I think, by and large, Parliament has done its work. It has passed many laws, many legislation that is of help to this country today. Or everything that is happening in this country today has an underpinning legislation or statute. So Parliament is done its best. And Parliament is a reflection of the society. People don't apply to be, it's not an appointive job. They are elected by the people. And they go through a referendum after every 5 years. So they will be judged at that time.
So you say, in your view, there isn't really a difference between majority and minority, that all of them do the same work?
Not in the mindset.
I just want to understand.
Not in the mindset of Kenyans thinking that the minority is supposed to be the opposition. Every member of Parliament, in accordance with the Constitution, is supposed to oversight the executive and other arms of government.
Would you give us then some specific things that the minority, and I want to speak about that because you're the leader of minority, has stopped, changed, or forced the executive to account for?
Many things. Many things. There are many legislations, including the last finance bill. Myself, I managed to change many clauses in that bill that will have been offensive to the people. And the majority agreed with me, including one I remember the latest one was on KRA, for example. KRA was saying in that bill that if you go to the tribunal, the tax appeal tribunal, and you lose the case, you have, constitutionally, you have an avenue of appeal to the High Court, Court of Appeal, and Supreme Court. KRA was proposing that bill, for example, that you have to pay the total tax before you appeal. I managed to shoot that down as a minority leader. And I said that it's a constitutional, provision that somebody must get his right of appeal. So until the appeal is done up to the Supreme Court, you should not be told to pay the total tax. That is the work of what I did. So we are doing our work, but we don't, make noise out of it. We don't